My parents emigrated from Europe. That's my dad. And that was my mom. We were first generation American. My sister and I grew up a pretty normal childhood. All the usual things that kids get. That's the house I grew up in, down in Brighton Beach, Brooklyn. That was my public school, PS 225. This is the park across the street from my house. I used to play there. When I got a little older, I could play on the block. The most exciting days were the days when we went to the beach. The beach was great. Sometimes we would just be on the sand, enjoying the shore. On other days, we would ride our bikes down the boardwalk. This is a picture of us on the beach as kids. The real exciting days were the days when we would get on the train and go into Manhattan. This is the walk to that train. It felt endless, like we were never going to get to the station so that we could leave this neighborhood and go to the most exciting place I thought, Manhattan. This is the Brighton Beach train station. Up those stairs meant we were getting on the train that was taking us out of this neighborhood to the city. I love the train rides to the city. I would stand in the doorway of the front car, watching as the conductor drove the train down the tracks. I was so anxious to get wherever it was we were going. Sometimes we would just go to the city to go shopping, sometimes to see a show on Broadway. It was just the most exciting thing in a young boy's life. I used to dream about living in Manhattan. I always wanted to be part of that exciting life. Compared to where I grew up, anything would have been more exciting than living in Brighton Beach. But it took a long time till I finally made that transition into Manhattan. It took years. When the train finally did make it all the way to the darkness, I really knew that we were getting close. The next exciting part was coming up soon. Popping out into the city over the Manhattan Bridge. There was nothing anymore to see from the front window. Now it was time to look out the side at the skyline of Manhattan. We were getting to the most exciting place that I had known, and I couldn't wait to get there. Sometimes we would go to 34th Street. 34th Street meant we were going to the candy store of all candy stores, Macy's department store. The climb out of the subway was endless. It felt like we were coming out from the depths of the earth, but we would pop out through the right door every time. My dad always seemed to know which exit to take to put us as close as possible to the entrance. And as the sign says, it's the greatest department store in the world. Other days we would go to Times Square. All kinds of reasons. Sometimes we would go to see a show. Sometimes it was to do something else. I didn't always know what we were doing when we were in the city. All I knew is that the lights and the excitement were just mesmerizing. There were all kinds of places that we would go in the city for all kinds of reasons, but it didn't matter why. As long as we were on one of these adventures, it was the best day. Sometimes it was a show at Radio City Music Hall or a trip to Rockefeller Center. Sometimes we had to go to this building to get a passport. Then there was shopping at Bloomingdale's. The sights, the sounds, it just was the kaleidoscope of entertainment for a young boy's eyes. Sometimes just looking through the mist of the steam pipes pumping smoke into the air gave us a surprise. In 2005, I had opened up a bar and restaurant. It was called Aces and Eights Saloon. Things were really going well at first, But then the Second Avenue subway construction made its way down to 87th Street. My bar was a block over on First Avenue, but that didn't seem to matter. This is what my neighborhood looks like today. Huge swaths of Second Avenue have been cut to half their width. Sidewalks have been reduced, barriers in every direction, and huge construction facilities built above the street, some 3-4 stories tall. The walkways are put out into the street, cut to pieces. It's really not a fun place to live anymore. Tunnels like this one are pretty scary at night, and there are plenty of dead ends that, if you don't know your way around the neighborhood, will leave you trapped in little corners like this. Definitely not safe.
Alongside the marshal's eviction notice, this business owner left behind a letter to the community, complaining about the loss of 85% of business since the subway construction started, and how the MTA and the city had done nothing to compensate the businesses on 2nd Avenue. While the neighborhood is dotted with stores for rent, who in their right mind would rent under these conditions? Complaints continue in vain.
My name is Dimitrios Kontakos. I come from Sparta, Greece.
And where do you live now?
I live in New York, Astoria, New York.
How long have you been in business here?
I've been in business 15 years
In this location?
in this location.
What was your business like before the subway construction?
It was fair. It was okay. It was okay. It was doing okay.
What were you told about the construction before it began?
They said that they were going to do the constructions, and they invited us to check the projections and everything else, and we knew what was going to happen.
And what happened to your business when the construction reached your front door?
Oh my God! It really sliced it in amazingly low levels. It really destroyed us, basically.
Have you complained about the construction's effect on your business?
We complain as much as we can. You know, newspapers here, there. We do complain, but nobody listens to us for a small business.
Who did you complain to?
It was some newspapers and some TV cameras that came around some time ago because of an incident outside the store. Somebody got stabbed by a homeless person. So we had a lot of police, a lot of news cameras and newspapers, and we told them about the crime that is going to be rising while the construction is going on, and also that we're losing a lot of business, you know. But basically, nobody
cared?
bothered to care a little bit.
What has the MTA said to you since you've made your complaint?
Absolutely nothing. Nobody responds. Nobody cares, basically. You know, for us.
What has the city council member Jessica S. Lappin said to you?
See, I don't know who that lady is, and I haven't talked to that lady. But somebody else was saying that they're very happy with the Second Avenue project because they give in to the unions 2,000-3,000 new jobs for these people, and they ignore the fact that a lot of local business, mom and pop restaurants and all kind of businesses, they closing down, and a lot of people losing their jobs. They're interested only in the union jobs, basically.
Has there been any help offered to you by anyone?
Absolutely none, zero, nothing.
Will your business survive the construction?
It's not going to survive. I'm trying to sell it. I'm behind rents. I haven't paid rents for some time already. And we're not going to make it if we continue like that, unless I can sell it before I'm losing everything.
Today we're going to be having a hearing with regard to the 2nd Avenue subway. I'm the chair of the Committee on Corporations, Authorities, and Commissions.
While the impact on local businesses is real and severe, this project is an economic boon for the state, leveraging billions in federal dollars, generating tens of thousands of jobs during a time of economic hardship, and adding to the state's GDP. The MTA tells us that this 2nd Avenue subway is creating 16,000 jobs, most of which are well-paid union jobs.
Can you stop doing that, sir, please? Can you stop doing that, sir, please? All right, I'm gonna throw somebody. Okay.
And provide that high visibility signage for local businesses.
We're taking steps to be able to provide signs for merchants so that they have real visibility along the street. Again, I can't take away the construction activity that will be there, but we'd like people to know that those merchants are there, that they are open for business, that there's a way to be able to see them and note them.
Is this what they mean by high visibility signage to draw crowds?
And there's no question that it's in the middle of one of the most densely populated urban areas anywhere in the world. We're taking steps to widen sidewalks so the pedestrian flows can be easier and
More old school.
If you have a sidewalk cafe now we are 10 feet from you, you can't have a sidewalk cafe.
More old school. Put a jam on it. You're not gonna tell me I said yo. Voice impressions. Check it. I am Yoda. From Star Wars. I'm SpongeBob. When the SquarePants die. With the SquarePants. Patrick, I'm hungry. That's why they call me Verbal Ace, because I'm beatboxer from outer space. I'm just a trained DJ here. Thank you so much. I bit my tongue 4 times, but it's all good.
What's your name?
Phoebe,
And how old are you?
11.
What do you think about all this construction that's been going on to put in the 2nd Avenue subway?
I think it's horrible because it destroys the construction. I don't like because it's like it makes the streets very small. And no one can actually get anywhere because it's very crowded. And then like it just starts narrowing, and it's very hard and very annoying. And like a bunch of businesses are going out. There was like this very good like restaurant, and it was like doing very well. But then, bye, the construction made them leave. But like seriously, there's like more than 20 businesses out on 2nd Avenue, like barely any businesses.
And have you been affected by the traffic that seems to be all screwed up around the neighborhood?
Yeah, because like this blockage thing, we usually come out this way, so we can't see the cars that are coming. And apparently, and like you just saw, no one really stops for the stop signs. So we have this big danger of getting accidentally run over because we can't actually see anything, and they're just like, and they don't see us, so we have a big danger of getting run over.
No, it's not a bomb. It's a blast. There's a big difference.
Fine, we'll call it a blast. You be the judge. pretty clear that no matter what anyone says, no matter how many hearings are held, no matter how many businesses are closed, no matter how many of the residents of this community are inconvenienced, nothing's really going to change. The price of progress is to march on over everyone and everything in its path, and we'll end up with a 2nd Avenue subway at some point. But what will the price have been in businesses, livelihoods, jobs, inconvenience, and just sheer misery to put that subway into place?